and living guide. Happy Cow.
Some people I know are trying the vegan diet to lose weight, and they often go on these yo-yo diets. Why are yo-yo diets not good for us?
The word diet has different connotations and meanings. Some people use the word diet, some they're going on to lose weight, like the word diet, but everybody's on some kind of diet. That's the other definition of diet. Mm-hmm. I want people to improve their diet, and I want them to know why they're improving it for the long-term benefits, because these improvements should be made for life, not temporarily, because anything you do temporarily has no long-term benefit. Number one. Number two, when your weight goes up and down, it makes your health get worse. Because when you gain back weight rapidly, you put back on fat that's more visceral. There's two types of fat. There's subcutaneous fat that's external to your abdominal wall, and there's visceral fat that's in and around your organs inside you, and that visceral fat is usually more saturated, more heart disease promoting, more cancer promoting, and you can lose subcutaneous fat with dieting, but if you gain weight rapidly and you binge and put the weight back on, it's going to be more visceral and less subcutaneous. You're going to actually be shifting fat from out of the body to inside the body where it's more dangerous. So we know that, and going on these dangerous diets, and especially these high protein, going on with these high protein diets, it can shift fat more viscerally. It can raise your internal stores of saturated fat, which can raise your cholesterol, increase your risk of heart attacks and strokes and of cancer.
Does that visceral fat actually sort of push your stomach out, or does it sort of build around the organs, and then the subcutaneous fat that sort of builds the stomach? How does that work? Or build
that's correct. You're absolutely right. That some people with high visceral fat, they can have their stomach poking out, and you can go to pinch them and you don't see a lot of fat. You're pinching and you can feel that there's not a lot of fat there, even though the stomach's sticking out, because that's pushing the stomach out from inside. You can't pinch the fat on the outside. It's the inside. Their stomach's still sticking out because they have fat inside, viscerally, that's pushing it out. So yes, that's true, that your stomach can be pushed out by subcutaneous fat or by visceral fat.
Right. And you would say the visceral fat is far more dangerous because it's saturated, it coats your organs. Which would you say is harder to lose? Are they both as difficult to lose?
Yeah, no, that's right. You lose subcutaneous fat easier than visceral fat. That's why yo-yoing weight is so dangerous. You lose subcutaneous fat at a higher percent than you lose visceral fat. So if you go on these diets and lose and gain, you wound up being worse off than if you just kept the same weight to begin with. The point is, yes, you got to lose the fat, but never gain it back again. And you only can lose weight and never gain it back again if you change your mind, not your diet. You have to become educated about food, and you have to understand that food is the most powerful medicine, and medicine is weak. In other words, as we're learning more about nutritional science over the last 20 years, we're also learning that this false belief system that drugs and doctors can save us damages people. And as we study more, we realize that blood pressure medications cause cancer, like for example, calcium channel blockers increase risk of breast cancer, that cholesterol-lowering drugs can increase risk of diabetes and cause weight gain, that that angioplasty and bypass surgeries don't make you live longer, even could shorten your lifespan, that H2 blockers can increase risk of heart attacks, that we're talking about that drugs are more dangerous than we ever thought. And nutrition is more powerful than we ever thought. Mm-hmm. And we've got to, as a nation, we've got to change people.
What about these injections that people are putting to lose weight into their stomachs? Do you know about these?
Well, I know that people do a lot of crazy stuff,
right.
But they'll do anything. It's insanity. People make decisions that are short term. They make the wrong decisions for some immediate gains that can lead them to some serious dangers later on in life. Mm. You have to think about your future self. Mm. What would you be 20 or 30 years from now? What would you think about your choices you're doing today? Are you protecting the future you? Is the future you going to love you for what you did for protecting yourself? Or is the future you going to suffer and curse you out? Why did I do that when I was young? Why did I do that when I was young, right? You got to make the right decisions today to protect your future.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you very, very much for your time. Really appreciate it, Dr. Fuhrman. This is Dr. Joel Fuhrman. I'm Ken Spector with HappyCow. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. What are 5 things that vegans can do to increase or improve their health?
I have a mantra, and I want people to memorize this, and I want them to
What would you say are the top reasons for choosing a vegan diet over a meat diet?
Number one, we're talking here about the protective effects of natural plant foods. And as you put more processed foods in the diet and more animal products in the diet,
The healthy eating and living guide. Happy Cow.